Without further ado, welcome to a 1v1 on Road to Kharkov. This game is Overlord versus Lewted Hose TW. Overlord playing as Oberkommando West in the north versus Lewted Hose playing as Soviets in the south. We've got Spec Ops, Breakthrough, Luftwaffe versus Lend-Lease, Soviet Shock Army maybe, and I don't know what any of these are. God damn it. Soviet Reserve Army, Shock Motor. Oh, I'm a failure. I'm a failure as a caster. Okay. Interesting loadout. Curious to see what he's gonna do. Double stern pile opening. Okay, that's rather bold. And a tier 1 opening from Looted. 3 penals, just going all penals, no conscripts. A little risky. Leaves him with no AT grenades. First engagement will be between penal battalions and stern piles, which are trying to aggressively wire off over here on the right side. I don't know what I think about that wire. That can just be circumvented by vaulting. Although it will interfere with retreat paths. So there's that. Stern piles jump into close range on a lone penal battalion over here on the right side. That's a 1 engagement for sure. Kind of a late retreat, honestly. I don't think they'll get wiped, but late retreat. They may fall to 1 model. 2 models, okay. Pretty rough engagement. Meanwhile, these 2 penal battalions go in on a pair of Volksgrenadier squads and should win that engagement. The 2 stern pile squads are currently in the retreat path, though. That could be a wipe. He should chase that. He should so chase that. He doesn't even have to. Those penal battalions need to try to either win this engagement or get to a location where they'll have a more favorable retreat path. I think they'll win this because those stern piles just charged over open ground. Those penal battalions should be fine. That could be a wipe on those sterms if they don't. Okay, dead sterms. Oh, the lethality of this game already. 11 to 11 in the first engagement on Road to Kharkov. That's ridiculous. Well, his decision to go double stern piles has already failed horribly. Despite the fact that he wiped 1 combat engineer, he lost 1 full squad and has to pay 150 manpower in reinforcement of the 2nd, and he just queued up the 3rd one, so that's going to be like already like 700 manpower spent on stern piles alone this game. Wow.
What do you need?
And that will be that engagement. It looks like they're just going to spread out and trade territory again. Penal battalion making its way towards the cutoff. MG34 field, so that's Luftwaffe chosen. Pretty good on this map, I think. Lots of green cover, so you can try and use Fallschirmjäger really cost effectively against charging Soviet infantry, for sure. Definitely see Fallschirmjäger being used effectively this game. The people who fast lane those games are not here right now, Looted. I don't want to cast them yet, so I'm just doing normal games. Stern piles jump into close range on that penal battalion, and they'll be forced to retreat, although that squad does force away the machine gun right there. Wait, what? What got wiped? Oh wow, a penal battalion on the cutoff just got wiped. Oh, Looted. That's not good. Penal battalion there has to retreat. Stern piles and Volksgrenadiers moving to take control of this area over here. Gonna try and slow down that victory point clock. It's barely really even moved, honestly. Still 480 to 476. And it looks like this engagement will probably go to Overlord. I can't really tell. Yeah, there they go. He's gonna disengage from the cover, then re-engage back into the cover. Okay. Those Volksgrenadiers could hasten this victory by charging into minimum range, but it might be kind of dangerous to try and do that. They should not be engaging against penal battalions at medium range with no cover, though. Grenade toss. I can't honestly tell who's going to win this, although he does get the munitions point captured right there. He's got fresh stern piles on their way to try and turn that engagement back in his favor. And there's a fresh penal battalion from Looted with a flamethrower on it. Getting a flamethrower on this one as well. That's 2 flamethrowers, but he's left himself extremely vulnerable to flak half-track. Fortunately, Overlord has not gone tier 3. Despite being against Soviet tier 1, He went tier 2 anyway, which is gonna actually leave him a little weak to the flamethrower spam here, but okay. He'll probably still be able to manage it with Fallschirmjäger and MG34s as long as he doesn't miss micro anything. Penal battalions cannot URA until they are Vet 2, so MGs are pretty safe. They don't have any form of anti-machine gun like grenades or Molotovs either. Basically, penal battalions just seem bad to me. I just don't get them. I have never understood the penal battalion. Flamethrowers engaging Volksgrenadiers and MG34 right here. Sturm piles are available to protect the flank. Those penal battalions are going down quick. Satchel charge. Gonna try and dodge. It's kind of a late dodge, but he preserves the machine gun. Map control slowly falling into Overlord's control. His decision to make so many Sturm piles has left him with a pretty small army, though. Even then, since he's fighting against penal battalions and getting his fair share of wipes, he's stacking up a lot of manpower right now. He could easily get out a squad of Fallschirmjäger, or just more Volksgrenadiers, or whatever. He's probably gonna go tier 4 next, maybe?
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory. Heavy machine gun team.
There's a squad of Fallschirmjäger out of the shed. That was a terrible deployment, though. He just deployed Fallschirmjäger into red cover, surrounded by 3 infantry squads. That was probably the worst way he could have possibly spent that 440 manpower. He should have, like, if he deployed out of this house and engaged from green cover at range, it could have gone a lot better. Oh well, alright, there goes that squad. Not only did he spend 440 to field it, he now has to spend another 150 to reinforce it. So that is a 600 manpower Fallschirmjäger squad for 1 kill. 1 kill, not off to a great start.
Enemy squad has us sighted.
Sturm piles moving in on a maxim are forced to retreat. So that's tier 2 constructed by Lewted. In addition to tier 1, tier 1 and tier 2 strategy is pretty unusual, but you see it sometimes. Generally, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's going to be a slower victory because you don't get out of vehicle very quickly. Just a lot of infantry and team weapons. If you like really infantry-centric play, though, there's nothing wrong with tier 1, tier 2. But you're not going to have very many vehicles. And on a map of this size, vehicles can be a very nice thing to have. Fallschirmjäger moving up on the flank. Force 1 retreat. Penal battalion just walked on red cover in front of Fallschirmjäger, so that's a second retreat. And that's pretty much what you need to happen with your Fallschirmjäger. Inflict heavy damage and kills, get vet, and try and take very little damage in return. So he needs to engage with them just like that. And that squad will give him very good value.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector. We need to re-establish our supply lines.
I have the men ready. This is our sector now.
There's tier 4. That'll provide protection of the cutoff and VP right here. Sturm piles trying to make their way to this green cover, maybe to protect against Looted's next push. 2 squads of penal battalions going left. Mine going down right there.
Ready. Heavy vehicle production can now begin. Flamethrowers.
And there's tier 3. Going tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 is even more unusual than tier 1, tier 2 into call-ins. It's even stranger. But alright, no commander selection by Looted Host either, by the way.
Any structure
Oh,
or
just kidding.
vehicle can now be repaired.
Lend-Lease, alright, sure,
Neutralizing
Lend-Lease
the
is
sector.
kind of weird to pick in addition to tier 3, actually. Especially this close to 9 command points. It's going to slow down his first M4C Sherman by a lot, but speed up his T-70, if that's the route he chooses to go. I have no idea why he would field a T-34 over this Sherman. So I'm expecting one of these 2 light vehicles, but I could be wrong, I don't know. Tank traps going up here in the road. 1 Sturm Pile squad has to retreat. Penal battalion has to retreat as well from the tier 4 structure. Plus there's an MG-34 inside of this shed, although that's a very dangerous place to put them against penal battalions because a satchel charge will destroy this building. But it will be able to have a pretty good line on this road. Volksgrenadiers have green cover in behind these tank traps as well, so it's actually quite dangerous for Looted Host to advance this way. Fallschirmjäger needs to not engage against penal battalions on open ground while the penals have green cover. They're way too expensive for that. Whoa, that Shrek snipe!
Enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Okay.
They are shooting at us, Comrade Obvious. Now we can really bring
Fresh Fallschirmjäger squad down here, going straight for the fuel. There actually is an AT gun right there they could take out, but they don't have vision. Volksgrenadiers need to pull back away behind this green cover position they have over here, get away from this incoming blob. Needs to prepare for this big advance. It's probably going to go right, so may need to field some units right. If it comes up the center, it'll just get shut down by the tier 4 machine gun, I think. 1 squad retreating, the other 3 just sitting here for now. He's also going to need to counter this Fallschirmjäger squad over here on the left side at some point. MG-34 suppresses that squad. Grenade tosses way off target. That was a terrible grenade. What was that even aimed at? Okay, Fallschirmjäger are about to be engaged by penals. They don't have cover. Just standing here. I mean, open ground against green cover penal battalions, making them extremely cost ineffective. Okay. Sturm piles on the right side chase away a combat engineer squad. These squads crawl away from the machine gun, get unsuppressed, falls, making their way right to try and get that victory point under control. Looted still has not purchased a tier 3 unit, despite having built a tier 3 structure and having the resources for a tier 3 unit for a very long time. All squad almost gets wiped on the left side, just standing there. And there's the Sherman. Which means he cannot build a tier 3 unit, so I don't even know why he built this. I have absolutely no clue why he dropped 240 manpower and 120 fuel on that. Wow, he just called in the supply drop and the plane instantly got shot down by the tier 4 structure. Thanks.
Yes, comrade.
Seems pretty balanced.
Yes.
So much for those 100 munitions. Additional resources are now available to you, Commander.
Flag emplacement got built over here on the right side. It's a pretty terrible unit, but he did at least put it on top of a hill, so it'll actually be able to hit stuff. That's something. Here comes the Sherman though, and it's gonna be pretty easy to beat this stuff with a Sherman. There's 2 flak emplacements? Really? Well, I mean, not that I blame him. I don't know how he's supposed to. If he's a new player, there's no way of him knowing this unit is just absolutely terrible, but it is absolutely extremely bad. Panzer Strike Blob moves up to fire on the tank right there. That's going to have to pull back to safety. Flak emplacements are shooting at the tank rather than at infantry, which makes no sense for them to be doing. Satchel Charge just clears that one instantly. That one's been destroyed, and they basically did nothing to stop this infantry push. The MG-34 is the only reason that other squad even had to retreat right there. The Stern Pios should not try and recover this. And they're not. They're just going to pull back to safety behind some green cover over there on the right.
Engineers have secured the sector.
We now have access to additional battlefield options.
Sherman awaiting repairs over there on the right side. Things pretty quiet. Fallschirmjäger making their way back left, but they need some anti-tank support. Still no Raketenwerfer. Still no big fuel purchase from Tier 4. I assume Panther next, but he spent a lot of manpower on reinforcements, so it's delayed. Charges into flamethrower range. Could have engaged from outside flamethrower range and did fine. Takes 1 flame crit. Every model loss on Fallschirmjäger is a big deal, and you can't just do that. Full retreat.
Yes, comrade.
Sherman slowly receiving repairs, and Lewted will simply heal and reinforce while he gets ready for his next attack. Some more defenses being built over here on the right side. More trenches, more sandbags. And Lewted will push mid rather than right. I haven't actually even seen these trenches used. There goes that shed. Like I said, pretty dangerous to put any units in there. It goes down very quickly. Oh, that clump. That's just asking to get nailed by that Sherman. They spread out a little bit. Field gun trying to pull back to safety as well. Sherman's up to 13 kills, not bad. And finally, a Panther is in production. It's going to be hitting the field pretty soon. And Lewted still has not made a single unit out of his tier 3 structure. So I guess he has tier 3 right now.
Under attack!
Satchel charge on their green cover position will at least destroy the sandbags, prompt a retreat from that Fallschirmjäger squad. Penal Battalion with flamethrower taking control of the VP. Other than that,
Anti-tank gun is
no
ready
big
for action.
engagements.
Occasionally do something.
Fresh field gun. There's the Panther. Panther heading right. Lewted sending most of his forces left. And there's a second tank. I think we may have another engagement for the right side.
Attempting to capture our territory.
Lewted taking control of the left with these 2 penal battalions. Field gun and Sherman. Field guns and Sherman may assault that tier 4 structure. They'd be successful, by the way. Almost no defenses over here, other than the tier 4 structure itself. The Panther could move to react in a pretty reasonable amount of time. Volksgrenadiers have to retreat over there. Here comes Lewted's attack. 2 field guns firing on the structure. They both missed somehow. Are they shooting at Fallschirmjäger? Why are they shooting at that Fallschirmjäger squad? Shoot at this. Shoot at the building, Lewted. Come on. Switch targets. Panzerfaust actually just destroyed his Sherman's engine. His field guns are now shooting at that Panther, doing a little bit of damage. There goes that tank. If he doesn't, he needs to destroy that tier 4 structure right now with his field guns, or it's gonna not be good. Please kill that. Oh my god, Lewted, please kill that. Okay. Okay. He loses a full penal battalion, and his tank dies to some bad RNG, but he gets the tier 4 structure. He's probably going to lose both of these penal guns, though. To that Fallschirmjäger squad. I don't know, maybe this penal battalion can save the day. He might be able to. Although a fresh Fallschirmjäger squad could turn the engagement back in Overlord's favor if he wanted to. Doesn't look like it. Well, I guess that could have gone worse for both sides. Is he going to build a new tier 4? I don't know what I think about that. You should probably think about transitioning to KT from this point forward. Or not, I don't know. I generally don't think building tier 4 again is a good idea unless you intend to make more tier 4 units, which with 2 squads of Fallschirmjäger on the field, I find Obersoldaten unlikely. I find another Panther kind of unlikely. I mean, another Panther costs the same as a King Tiger, so why wouldn't you just go King Tiger? I don't know. It costs the same as a King Tiger because of the 80 fuel you have to drop on this structure, is what I mean. So...
Yes, enemy forces are capturing our supplies. Supply sector under attack.
2 penal battalions pulling away from the right side of the VP. 2 squads of Fallschirmjäger.
Let's fire up some fascisti. He died for the good of
Kill that penal battalion, but this Panther is going down quick. Just got its engine destroyed by field gun and M4C Sherman fire, and there it goes. Panther destroyed on the right side. M4C Sherman will pull back for some repairs. 2 squads of engineers right there. Easy enough. The Fallschirmjäger harassing the left side. They really shouldn't be used as a capping unit, honestly. They're Vet 2 Fallschirmjäger. They should be used in combat pretty much at all times. There's much better capping units for OKW. Volksgrenadiers as Luftwaffe with the MG34 is a good capping unit. Not because it's got a very good chance of winning engagements, but because it's so cheap. And it might win an engagement against somebody that's not paying any attention. Mostly just because it's the cheapest squad OKW can field, though. If he would just move that other squad to support in this engagement, he would definitely win. It's going to be a little bit late because of that slow reaction, and this one's not kiting at all. And now he just retreated. He still had half of that squad's DPS left. I don't know what I think about that either. Well, regardless, he'll take the engagement. Fallschirmjäger chasing away those conscripts. As long as they don't toss a Molotov, which they can't, Fallschirmjäger should win this. There is a mine right there, though, and the Sherman is moving to support as well. So there's the retreat from those falls. Victory point control still belongs to Overlord, though.
100 points stand between us and defeat.
Somehow. There's the fresh tier 4 structure. He still hasn't salvaged this wreck. Give himself a little bit of extra fuel for whatever his next tier 4 unit's gonna be. He's also got 400 munitions in the bank for airborne assault if he wants to use that. He's also built a lot of trenches, but I don't know why he would put Sturmpiles inside of that trench. And I haven't seen him use the trench for anything that actually makes sense, like an MG or a Raketenwerfer. Little weird. He just recovered a flamethrower with Sturmpiles instead of his Volksgrenadiers, which I don't think he should have done. Because a Volksgrenadier Kar 98 is not that big of a deal to not have firing, whereas a Sturmpile SCG 44 is kind of a big deal to not have firing. Fallschirmjäger chase away that squad over there on the right side. There they go. Oh my god, SARS. Wow. Thank you for your $10 donation again. I'm happy for you that you got paid today. There's another Fallschirmjäger squad. 3 squads of Fallschirmjägers getting pretty high, honestly. That's kind of a lot, especially when he could be using airborne assault for that instead if you really felt that that was necessary.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
Here's another Sherman from Lewted. I think that's his 3rd one. I'm pretty sure I've only seen 1 Sherman go down so far. Yeah. High explosive barrage from the field gun? Yes. Forces 1 retreat. Squad gets away with no model losses though, that's good. Sherman's getting aggressive. It is going to take a Panzerschreck shot here though. I think it can take 2 more before going down. One more hit and it will go down. He's trying to force the retreat though. There they go. Volksgrenadiers have to get out of there. Flamethrower pressure. Penal Battalion trying to chase. Will maybe get suppressed by the tier 4 structure though. There they go. Late retreat, but it doesn't get wiped. Rounds the corner just in time. Okay. Fallschirmjäger commits suicide. Sturmpiles look like they may be about to do the exact same thing. Sherman goes down to the advancing Volksgrenadier squad right there though. Sturmpiles finally retreat, getting away narrowly. Penal Blob making its way left to try and counter everything over here. Stolen field gun though, nice pickup by Overlord. Having that Zis will definitely help against looted Shermans, and he's only got 1 left right now. He has the resources to call in a 4th though, currently. And he still has not made a tier 3 unit. He should at least make a half-track. At least justify this purchase. A half-track on this map would be pretty good. He could have a forward reinforce point. I don't know. It just hurts to see a tech structure built and not used. It's so expensive.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
But okay.
A sector has been cut off.
Group ready. Target flamethrower squad!
Fallschirmjäger retreat on the left, and a huge blob is making its way across this road. I don't know if that's gonna get away. No, it is definitely not going to get away. He's using Valiant Assault so that he can move more quickly to strengthen the power of his blob. Sturmpire squad just got wiped by flame crits though. Why would he focus fire the squad in the back? I don't know, that was weird, but regardless, that's gonna go down. That oh, that blob. That was kind of a fun use of Valiant Assault. Blobs 2 of Lewted's penal battalions to death with super speed. Vet 4 on those Fallschirmjäger is going to make them extremely strong, by the way. Penal battalions with flamethrowers are really going to struggle to close into short range against them now. Here comes the 4th tank, I think. Yes. He's got 2 of his original 4 Shermans alive right now. Having killed a Panther, he has a little bit of wriggle room. Having repurchased this tier 4 structure, Overlord's fuel is a little bit low. So no King Tiger anytime soon. He might go Panther again, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's planning. He should spend his fuel on something, though. Unless he wants to try and just win using Fallschirmjäger, Volksgrenadiers, and Sturmpyos. And a Stolen Zis. Stolen Zis definitely helps. No doubt about that.
Pioneer Cooper is ready for action.
Shermans are gonna try some sort of really aggressive flank right here. Not sure what he's planning. Field gun is shooting at the tier 4 structure from range, using attack ground through the fog. Working pretty well. Oh, here comes a huge push! Crush maneuver's a little off. He doesn't really get that much stuff right there. I'm not sure he's actually trying to crush infantry. He's just circling through. Maybe trying to provide vision and get extra shots on the tier 4 structure, but that tank goes down. Poorly executed flank right there. He kills almost nothing and loses a tank. Almost loses both. That could get sniped. Here it comes. Doesn't use attack ground, so that Sherman will get away, but the field gun gets counterattacked here by advancing Fallschirmjäger and Sturmpyos. Penal battalion might get wiped too. That was a horrible push. I don't think that could have possibly gone worse. Killed nothing at all. Not even close to killing anything. Lost a field gun and a Sherman. Made full retreat back to base. That was probably the worst that attack could have possibly gone. So that's not good. The entire map is now going to turn red as a result of that failed attack. Mechanized Regiment headquarters just got built right there, so he is probably going to try and make his way to King Tiger. Lewted is going to slow the victory point drain with victory point capture there on the left and is moving to re-engage here, or on the right. That's the right. This is the left. Fallschirmjäger are going to get pushed away by the Sherman and Penal Battalion. They're just trying to soft retreat. They do heal on their own, by the way, so if you can get them to green cover out of combat for a little while, they... Okay, never mind. Wow, that flame burst though. Jeez. Flamethrower fight right here, supported by Fallschirmjäger in the back, will definitely not go in Lewted's favor. Jeez, those Fallschirmjäger, like I said, their accuracy is so good at Vet 5. Even on the retreat, at max range, that penal battalion could knock it away. Volksgrenadier squad wiped by a lucky Sherman shot though, that helps a little. He's taking control of the right side VP to try and slow things down. Lewted has only 92 victory points remaining right now. Aww. What a sweet thing to say, Twitch Rec. What a clever donation message. Not only did he manage to insult the players, but also compliment me at the same time. Well crafted, well played. Well, I'm glad I'm able to make this entertaining for you.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
And most importantly, thank you so much for your $10 donation. That's very generous of you. Thank you. Field gun has to rotate to fire on this Zis, which is going in on a flank. This one's still not... I really don't think he should dive like this with one tank while the other one is sitting AFK here in secure mode. He should fully commit to an engagement. What if this one dies when it wouldn't have otherwise, if his other tank would just help? Fortunately, that satchel charge, that clutch satchel charge wins in the engagement and does not lose his tank. That was a pretty good satchel. Clearly not enough forces over here on the left side defending during that. Since sitting over here with one Fallschirmjäger squad for one thing, which represents almost all of his anti-infantry DPS right now, and a lot of his resources are currently tied up in an in-progress King Tiger, which hasn't made its way to the field yet, so Lewted does manage to take the engagement despite not fully committing all of his forces, and will get the left side victory point back under his control. Might be able to recover that field gun too, so...
Fresh conscripts have arrived. Yes, comrade. The enemy has cut off a sector. Moving slowly. You have done what you were...
Is that a destroyed engine? Maybe it doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter. Conscripts on the field. First squad of conscripts for Lewted, I think. That 42-minute conscript rush. He's gonna make that repair the tank? Nope. Heading left. Combat engineers are available over here. He could repair... I'm pretty sure that's a destroyed engine, right? Yeah. Conscripts could repair that pretty fast. It's gonna take combat engineers a while to get over there. Alright, whatever. Looks like Lewted is shifting almost all of his forces center right now. No defense on the left side VP. The clock stopped. Nobody controls right side. Penal Battalion moving to get it now. King Tiger's making its way center, and the Fallschirmjäger squad is available in the center/right as well. And it looks like the next big engagement is going to happen in this general area. There is one squad of conscripts repairing the field gun over here. Okay, he skipped past his destroyed engine tank and ran straight for this field gun. That was this conscript squad's top priority. Once he finishes repairing that, I guess he's going to recover it. There's nothing over here to counter right now. King Tiger making its way over there to the right side to assist. And Overlord does have 670 fuel in the bank, or munitions in the bank. I don't know why he hasn't used airborne assault. I don't know. I feel like that could be pretty useful. Maybe he doesn't feel like he needs more Fallschirmjäger, but he should be planting mines and spamming grenades like crazy. I don't even know how to float munitions as OKW when you go Luftwaffe. You have so many things to spend munitions on. Pretty amazing. I don't understand why he hasn't just been spamming frangibles and mines and grenades. Just grenades everywhere and Panzerschrecks. Fresh Folks Grenadier Squad coming. Here's the King Tiger. Just sitting here. I don't know why he wouldn't push and try and take that VP. He's got a KT. Slowly rotating. Fires one shot at the M4C Shermans. Lewted will probably disengage here since he knows he can't win against that King Tiger with unsupported Shermans. Almost loses that tank. Fallschirmjäger could have walked up and Fausted that and sealed the deal easily. He needs to salvage this Panther too. Well, I guess he doesn't have to since fuel's not really a concern anymore now that he's got his King Tiger on the field, although having a Stuka might be nice. Stuka after King Tiger is a pretty good purchase. Sturm Tiger can work if you want to kill a lot of team weapons. And I don't know. I don't know where the rest of his fuel's gonna go. So I could see him trying to focus more on salvaging. I don't know if he even knows he can salvage though. I haven't seen him salvage anything yet this game. So, and he's gonna crush that. Okay. So, never mind. Here comes the airborne assault though. He just spent his munitions. That's good. Fallschirmjäger pair dropping in over the crater. Here comes the King Tiger to support in this engagement. The Fallschirmjäger squad will die pretty much instantly. A little slow. He probably should have used that ability after his King Tiger pushed into the engagement, so the King Tiger could draw some fire here. Also, he's like not even firing. He's just walking straight into a tank right now. No Panzerfaust, by the way. I don't know where the Panzerfaust is for the engine damage. He's not rotating his King Tiger in a favorable way. Finally, I think. No, he's going to switch targets and let that one get away, apparently. This Fallschirmjäger squad gets wiped. This one will probably be soon followed. Oh, man. Satchel charge on the King Tiger kills it. I think that attack was actually worse than Lewted's attack earlier on this area. That was really, really bad. I don't even know how that could have gone worse for Overlord. My god. Okay. King Tiger dies to a satchel charge, sitting AFK, letting itself get circle strafed by this Sherman. And normally I complain about main gun destroyed crits, but it's really only Overlord's fault that this thing is dead. And he's gonna say GG. GG. There's 300 victory points left in the bank. You're not even close to losing this game, Overlord. Please don't surrender right now. You cannot be serious. He didn't surrender, although the timer makes it look like he's going to, like, soon. Fallschirmjäger squad there just got wiped for no reason. I don't know. Maybe Lewted makes a really climactic final attack and it really is GG. Let's see. Okay. 2 tanks going in on the tier 4 structure. The last bastion of defense right here. He has not prepared for this. He needs to drop airborne assault while he can. Nice grenade. He should have thrown a frangible though. Frangible would have blocked line of sight and prevented tanks from firing. Folks Grenadiers just standing there, no cover. They should retreat instead of just this futile attempt at defense. He didn't prepare with Rakettenwerfers for this push. He's floating 500 manpower and getting pushed off the map. No airborne assault in the middle of that either. Give himself an extra Fallschirmjäger squad. No attempted engine damaging these tanks to force them back for repairs. And Overlord did that engagement all wrong, and now it really is GG. What the hell? SARS. Wow, thank you so much. That's not a first for me. I'm pretty sure I've seen a King Tiger killed by a satchel before, but it had engine damage at least. It at least had engine damage. It didn't have like it wasn't just sitting there for no reason.
We must protect our HQ.
Well, Overlord not only played his attack all wrong, he also played his defense all wrong. Now it really is GG. Rakettenwerfer, now he makes a Rakettenwerfer. And that's the game. Well played, Lewted, who takes it back with only 26 VPs remaining. I feel like Overlord just kind of handed this to his opponent by suiciding his King Tiger right there. He just parked it in front of his opponent and let it get satcheled to death. And he let all of his infantry die. I don't think he could have possibly thrown this game harder. I really don't. That was amazing. GG. Axis loses.